So there was a new Skyblock update a few days ago, and basically they added a bunch of extremely hard items to get that are not even that good. Alright, 22,000 health versus 1,500 health, but 820 defense. You have 0 defense. Alright, intense battle. We both one-tap each other. This is the most anticlimactic thing. So this update includes a lot of things, but the main thing is this whole Slayer update. That's why it's called the Slayer update. What I mean is that when you spawn in, you want to head over to here, and then you want to head this way. There's actually this house over here. There's a bartender up here, but if you go down here, you enter the tavern. In the tavern, you can find Maddox the Slayer, and he has a bunch of stuff here. Over the last 10 days or so, I've been trying to figure out exactly like how the update works and everything like that, what the best stuff is. This video basically explains all of that, so all the items, all the weapons, the bows, whatever, armor sets, talismans, other things. It's all here. Even like strategies to kill the boss as a solo. It's pretty easy actually. There's not much else to say, but if the video helps you at all, be sure to subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Alright, so this is the NPC here. His name is Maddox, and he is a Slayer. So as you can see, when I right click, there's a bunch of stuff here, but we have these 3 different types of bosses. So there is a zombie boss, a spider boss, and a wolf boss. And this NPC is where you do a lot of the stuff. So if I go into any of these, you can see there's different levels of bosses. Currently, there's up to tier 4, and I can do it in any of them. And here's wolves as well. I've got it in all of them. And to fight higher tier bosses, you have to at least have beat a lower tier boss once. So to fight a tier 4, I have to have a tier 3 unlocked, which is why I have to go to wolf. I haven't actually ever fought a tier 4 yet. I fought in a tier 3 so I can actually activate it, but I don't have any of the information because I haven't, like, totally beaten it. I do still know the info, though, and I'll explain it to you. So first of all, I'm going to be going in order of zombies to spiders to wolves. So if I go here, you can see there's all the 4 bosses. You can see you can view all the recipes you've unlocked, and you basically unlock more recipes as you increase your level for the boss. So for instance, zombie level 3 or level 6, level 3, all that stuff. The higher level boss you fight, the more experience you get, but you also have to kill more mobs to activate that boss for it to spawn. And then you can actually see what you're going to unlock later. Now, there are some hidden things here, but I can show you it a little bit later. So I'm going to show you a basic example, and it's basically the same for all of these. For the zombies, you have to fight it in the graveyard. So if I go up to here, you can go into the graveyard, and there's a bunch of zombies. But you don't really want to do it in the graveyard. You want to actually do it in the coal mines, because you can see there's a zombie there. But there's these cryptic ghouls with 2,000 health. So this is basically where you do the zombie quest. You just go into here, farm up, you know, use your bow, whatever. It's pretty simple, honestly. It's not too hard. For the tarantulas, you fight it in the spider's den. This is where you go to the spider's den. And that's where it is. I'm in the spider's den. There is a silverfish, but there is a dasher spider over there. So yeah, for all the wolf quests, you do it in the main lobby as well. You might have known about this place, but you probably have like only been here once. If you go over to here, you can see there's a bunch of wolves, and then I just kill them once they activate the quest, of course. So to activate a quest, it's really easy. Just go into the one you want, and then you just go to the tier you want. Generally, if you want to get the most experience, you want to fight tier 4s. It's the hardest boss, but it's also soloable if you have the right gear, and I'll explain that later. But for the sake of simplicity and quickness, I'll activate a tier 1. So basically, I have to get 150 combat experience from zombies. So you can see, I need 19 kills. All I really have to do is either do it in there or go to here, because these cryptic ghouls give you way more combat experience. Die. There we go. So you can see a boss spawn, but it's super weak. I just one-tapped it because it's a tier 1. Once you're done, you want to go to Maddox and then just claim your reward. And that's how you're going to be getting the recipes or whatever you're going to be unlocking. It'll just give you all that. All of these bosses are basically extremely difficult versions of what I just fought. 2.4 million health, 1.3 thousand damage dealt per second. So the main thing that you guys are probably here for is all the items. You want to know what the best stuff is. So first of all, I'll be covering all the boss drops, and then I will be covering all the recipes you can unlock. So first of all, Revenant Horror. What are all the boss drops? First of all, you can get Revenant Flesh. You can get a lot depending on what tier you fight. You can get a little bit of Foul Flesh, which is a brewing ingredient to make stamina potions. Stamina potions basically give you an instant health boost and a mana boost, so pretty good. You can get a Pestilence Rune, which I don't actually know what it looks like, so let's try it. And it's like barely anything. This is terrible. I'm sure it's bigger as you get higher tier, but and not a very good rune. Another thing you can get, which is a 1% drop rate, is an Undead Catalyst. This thing is used to make the sword the Revenant Falcon. I'll get into all the swords a little later, but you need this stuff. So the next thing you can get is a Smite 5 book. You know, it's good against zombies and all that stuff. It has a very low 1% chance of dropping, and you need to kill at least a tier 3 to get it. The next thing you can get is a Beheaded Horror, and if I right-click to view recipes, it doesn't let me do anything because it's in the auction house. But I have a bypass. It's basically used to make this Reaper mask. I'll go into it a little bit later, but it's pretty good, especially with the Revenant set to kill zombies and all that stuff. You also need a Revived Heart, which can be made from 8 zombie hearts, and a Crystallized Heart, which is made from 4 stacks of Enchanted Diamond and a Zombie Heart, which is made from... You get the point, right? You can also get a Snake Rune, which I don't really know what it looks like, so... The last thing you can get, which is extremely rare, it actually has a 7 out of 13,000 drop chance, is the Scythe Blade. The Scythe Blade is used to craft the Reaper Scythe. As you can see, it needs it right there. I show this thing later in the video. It's actually insanely overpowered. But yeah, stay tuned for that. Okay, so there's actually another item that can be dropped. It's called a Revenant Catalyst. If I go here, you can see it's used to make a sword called the Reaper Falcon. This thing is actually better than a 50mm Midas sword against zombies, so Dio made a video all about it. Now that's basically all the possible drops you can get from the Revenant Horror. Now obviously, there's a lot more bosses and a lot more boss drops to cover, so I'll start with Tarantula. If I go to boss drops, there's 7 different things you can possibly get. But the first one here is Tarantula Web. You can make Tarantula Silk, which makes even more stuff. You can also get Toxic Arrow Poison, which basically makes it so your arrows do a little bit more damage than usual. You can get a Bite Rune, and it looks like this. You can see just these green little things. You can get a Spider Catalyst, and if I right-click with it, you can see we can make Tarantula Boots, a Recluse Fang, and that's basically it. One of those two. You can also get a Bane of Arthropod 6 book, so you can see I have it on this sword here. I can also get a Fly Swatter, and if I go here, it makes a Flycatcher. This is actually not a minion fuel, it's a minion upgrade, although it's extremely expensive and really terrible. It's just like minion fuel, but it doesn't go into the minion fuel slot. So that's all it does. This one at level 6 is a Tarantula Talisman, which no one has actually unlocked, so no one really knows what it actually does. Last but not least is the Digested Mosquito. It's probably very rare like the Scythe Blade. If I go here, you can see the Mosquito Bow, very expensive, a Digested Mosquito. Now there's a few more boss drops to look at for the Sven Packmaster drops. First of all, you have Wolf Teeth. This is a very useful item. You can make Golden Teeth, you can make a Radiant Power Orb, but the Golden Teeth also have a bunch of more things. The next drop here is a Hamster Wheel, so if I go over to here, we can put an Auto Smelter in, and this in, and it's just a regular minion fuel. It lasts for one single day in real life. The next unlock is Critical 4. You need level 4 to unlock it. It's very rare. 1% drop chance. The Red Claw Egg is used to make the Red Claw Artifact, which gives 5% crit damage, and then you add 12% from Itchy, so very good for getting extra crit damage. The next item is the Overflux Capacitor. Now, I know it says Nether Quartz, but you need the Overflux Capacitor to actually make the Overflux Power Orb. It's the strongest Power Orb in the game, and it's really good. It'll be pretty necessary for dungeons, so... The next item is the Grizzly Bait. You need at least level 7 to get it. It's used to craft the Hunter Ring. It's pretty rare. It's under the Pray RNGesus category, so you know it's rare from that. Now, this wouldn't be a full guide without going over the boss leveling rewards, of course, because everyone wants to know that, obviously. So this is for the Revenant ones. I go to here, I get the Wand of Healing recipe 2 HP at level 1. At level 2, I get the permanent 2 HP, the Zombie Ring recipe, and the Revenant Viscera. I don't know. At Zombie level 3, I get permanent 3 HP. I have a chance of getting the Undead Catalyst because it's a drop. I get the Revenant Falcon recipe, I get the Wand of Mending recipe, and the Crystallized Heart recipe. Now, even though you get the recipe at, like, level 3 here, you need level 6 to use the Crystallized Heart to get any of the item abilities or to even get health and defense from it. And I think to even wear it as well. So sometimes you get the recipe before you can actually use it. It's kind of weird. For level 4, I get Revenant Leggings and Revenant Boots. As Zombie level 5, I get a permanent 4 HP, the Revenant Minion unlock, the Devour Ring recipe, the Revenant Chestplate recipe, and the Voodoo Doll recipe. I'll show the Voodoo Doll a little bit later in. As Zombie Slayer level 6, I get the Wand of Restoration recipe, the Revived Heart recipe, and the Reaper Falcon recipe. And at last, at level 7, I get a permanent 5 HP, the Zombie Artifact recipe, the Reaper Rask recipe, and the Reaper Scythe recipe. So for the next one, the Tarantula ones, there's obviously some leveling rewards. At level 1, I get the Spider Ring recipe, permanent 1% crit damage. For level 3, you get the Scorpion Bow recipe and 1% crit damage. At Spider Slayer level 4, I get a permanent 1% crit damage, and I also get the recipe for half of the Tarantula set, the leggings and the boots. But the thing is, you can literally just buy the chestplate and helmet, as soon as you get level 4, because you only need level 4 to use it, but you unlock it at level 5? I don't know, it's kind of weird. At Spider level 6, I get the Scorpion Foil and the Flycatcher as well. At Spider Slayer level 7, I get 1% crit chance. I get the Survivor Cube, it actually just given to you, or you can probably craft it. You also get the Spider Artifact recipe and the Mosquito Bow recipe. I'm going for that right now. And last but not least, Sven Packmaster, we've got to go over all this. Level 1, Red Claw Talisman, 1% speed. Level 2, 2 HP permanently, the Radiant Power Orb recipe, which is this, and the Golden Tooth recipe, which is used for a lot of crafts. At level 3, I get the Maddox Bat Phone, it's just given to you, or you can craft it. I also get the Shaman Sword unlock, it's not incredibly good. At level 4, we get 2 HP, but we also get this full armor set here, basically the pack armor set. At level 5, you get the Red Claw Ring recipe, the Edible Mace recipe, the Rear 2 Bow recipe, and the Red Claw Artifact recipe. At level 6, you unlock the Mastiff Armor Set recipes, and you can also make the Mana Flux Power Orb, which is really useful. At level 7, you can get the Overflux Power Orb. You also get the Hunter Ring recipe and the Hunter Talisman recipe. So in the Slayer update, they added a bunch of items, but there's a few main items that are used to make a lot more items, basically. So these are like the base items. So if I go to here, you can basically see it. For this, it's the Revenant Flesh. Oh, and also the Revenant for Sarah is for the zombies. For Tarantulas, it's the Tarantula Web and the Tarantula Silk. And then for the Sven Packmaster, it's the Wolf Teeth and the Golden Tooth. So it's like, there's 2 main items for everything. I'm going to cover the armor sets first, because that's probably the most exciting, you know? So if I go to the boss leveling rewards for Revenant Horror, you can see in the next level, I unlock Revenant Leggings and Revenant Boots. So they're pretty decent for health, not great for defense, but that's because you gain defense against zombies as you kill more zombies. It's called Zombie Bulwark. Alongside that, you get a full set bonus where your healing ones heal 50% more health, and you gain 100 defense against zombies, which is nice. So this is basically a set for killing zombies. And at level 5, you get the chestplate, of course, but what's interesting is that with the Revenant set, there is no helmet. So you only get 3/4 of the pieces. So let me go to the auction house to show you guys. So you can see there's a bunch of chestplates going on sale right now. If I go to a smaller GUI skill, you get a lot of health, but remember, it's mainly about the defense against zombies. So there's a thing in the game called a Reaper Mask, and while you wear it, you get 2 times healing from all sources. It also upgrades the Reaper Scythe, so you can get more zombies out of it. That'll make sense later on, but basically the Reaper Scythe spawns zombies. But to make this, you need a Revived Heart, which has basically the same set bonus in terms of healing. But to make this, you need a Crystallized Heart, which is made from a Zombie Heart, and they all have the exact same item ability. They all just double your healing effects, but as you know, you get a better rarity and all that. They just have like more health and defense. So the Reaper Mask is basically the best version of it, and the Revived Heart, but the mask looks the coolest, so I'd say go for the mask because you also get the zombies from the Reaper Scythe doubled. And obviously you need level requirements, so for the Revived Heart and the Reaper Mask, you need zombie level 7. Another armor set in the game can be found through the Golden Tooth, so if you right click it, there is Mastiff Armor. Mastiff Armor is a pretty interesting set. You can see you get like no defense because it's all negative 2500. You get 50 health for every 1% crit damage, so you can have like 20,000 health in some cases. The only bad thing about the Mastiff Armor is that it's reliant on your crit damage, so if you're holding certain swords over other swords, you get more health, and I don't like to rely on that. Also, your crit damage is half as effective, so it's not very good. This is also where the Shaman Sword comes into play. You can see you get plus 1% damage for 50 max health, so I saw a test and the Shaman Sword was performing better than the Midas Sword with full Mastiff Armor. But Mastiff Armor is not that great because wolves still do a ton of damage to you. So I don't think it's really worth going for, even though it looks really cool, especially the helmet. Another armor set is the pack set. It's like helmet of the pack, chestplate of the pack, that sort of stuff. The base stats are not even that good, and you gain defense against animals, which is referring to wolves, because it's the only animal boss in the game right now. It's only wolves. So you also get strength and defense for all the people wearing the full set within 24 blocks. But let's be real. How are you going to be in a situation where there's like 30 people around you with the same armor set? It's probably not going to happen, so I would say it's definitely not worth going for, if you ask me. It's like a decent set, but there's nothing cool about it. It's just defense. Just get like Superior or something. The last armor set is the Tarantula armor set. It's pretty decent. As you can see, I have it on an armor stand, so I got the full set. Here's the thing about the spider set. You can double jump, which is nice. You have pretty good health and defense, especially against spiders. But the thing here is that you're immune to healing reduction. You know why that's important? The thing is that the tier 4 spider boss reduces your healing by 50%. So as you can imagine, if you have a full tarantula set that reduces your healing reduction to absolutely nothing, you're going to be pretty good. And if you have a wanding mending and all that sort of stuff, it's even better. But what is a wand of mending, you ask? Let me explain. So first of all, we have Revenant Flesh and Revenant Viscera. If I right click with the Revenant Flesh and I go far back, you can see there is a wand of healing. The thing about this is that it's really easy to get. You only need zombie level 1. Very cheap crafting recipe. You get 20 health per second for 7 seconds. But it gets even better than that. We have a wand of mending. It costs 80 mana. It's on a cooldown of 1. I get 30 health per second for 7 seconds. There is another one, the wand of restoration. 40 health per second for 7 seconds. So you want to get these healing wands. They're very important. Trust me when I say this. So something I've been looking over a lot is these minions. So there are Revenant minions and Tarantula minions. Revenant minions basically spawn Revenants with have 10,000 health. Basically, it generates diamonds and normal rotten flesh. It's not even Revenant flesh. Now, there's also another type of minion called Tarantula minions. Basically, it just generates string and spider eyes, so nothing special there. It just spiders with more health, so not really worth going for unless you want minion slots. Now, this wouldn't be a proper guide if I didn't compare all the weapons. Or not really compare them, but just show them off. Show the stats of them and all that sort of stuff. I'll be doing it in the same order, so I start with the zombies, and then the tarantulas, and then the wolves. Now, first of all, before going into these, I want to cover a weapon called the zombie sword and the ornate zombie sword. So the ornate zombie sword is basically a slightly better zombie sword. This is the zombie sword. Basically, you right click and you heal for 120 health instantly, and it costs 70 mana. And if you upgrade to the Ornate Zombie Sword, you get 132 health. A massive difference, I know. I'm not really sure why anyone would upgrade unless they just want the max heal. So yeah, a Zombie Sword is easy to get, but you also need a thing called Golden Powder. Golden Powder is used to upgrade the sword, and that's literally it, and here's how you get it. So in the mines, there's actually an area where they can spawn. See that golden ghoul over there? Look at this. This thing might drop golden powder. That is one area where they can spawn, but I'll show you another area. You can go 2 ways. You want to head this way. Here's another golden ghoul. It's pretty terrible, but those are the 2 areas where they can spawn. They've got the little minecart right there. So yeah, I really recommend getting the zombie sword because it just instant heals, you know? Who doesn't want that? Now, while we're on the topic of heals, I want to talk about power orbs. This isn't a weapon or anything, but they're pretty important. So if I type in power orb, there are 2 types, a Radiant Power Orb and a Mana Flux Power Orb. The Mana Flux Power Orb, when placed, it gives you 10 strength, it gives you plus 50% base mana regen, and you heal 2% of your max HP per second, so it's really good. And it applies to anyone within an 18 block radius, and the orb stays there for 30 seconds. It costs 50% of your max mana, but you get more base mana regen, so it kind of makes up for it. And you can use more of those abilities like this. There's also the Radiant Power Orb, which is like the mini version of it, which is a lot worse. Definitely start out with this, but you want to get a Mana Flux Power Orb as soon as possible. I really got to grind for it. There's actually another Power Orb in the game called the Overflux Power Orb. It's even better, but no one has it because you don't need nether quartz, you need an overflux capacitor. You get 25 strength instead, even more base mana regen, increases all heals by 5%, and you get more healing per second. It's just an overall great package, you know? And it affects everyone within an 18 block radius, so even if you don't have the Wolf 7 level, you still get affected as long as someone else placed it and you're in the area. So now that we've talked about heals, we should probably talk about the actual, like, weapons and all that stuff, because that's the most exciting stuff, really. So the first sword here is the Revenant Falcon. 90 damage, 50 strength, 100 intelligence, and you deal more damage to zombies. You need zombie level 3 to use it, and you unlock it as zombie level 3 as well, so pretty simple. It's made from an undead catalyst and a crystallized heart, which is a zombie heart and 4 enchanted stacks of diamonds, so pretty simple to make. But there is actually a better version of this sword. There is actually another sword in the game called the Reaper Falcon. You might have seen TimeDeo make a video on this. It actually does more damage than a 50 mil Midas sword when you're attacking zombies, so use this for zombies, definitely. But there is actually a better sword in the game. You probably guessed it. If I go here, you can see I go far enough. There is, of course, the Reaper Scythe. This thing is insane. 300 damage, 10% speed, and when you right click, it spawns zombies copying your stats, and you can have up to 5 at once. But it goes more than that. If you have the Reaper mask on, you can have 2 times as many zombies that copy your stats. So you can have up to 10. Now currently in Skyblock, there's 2 people who have this sword. It's extremely rare, because to make the sword, you actually need another item in the game called a Scythe Blade. This thing has a 7 in 13,000 chance of dropping after you get tier 7. So really rare, but let me show you guys a quick clip of someone using this. Alright, so this is the Scythe. Let me change my GUI scale here. Oh my god, look at that. It's got everything. This is insane. So, yeah, this is a fully maxed Reaper Scythe, of course, and 320 damage is 25 strength, so not a lot of strength. In comparison to my Midas, 290 damage, 145 strength. So for damage, I think the Midas is better alone, but it spawns all these zombies, which are super overpowered, basically making it better. So it's just gonna all attack the golden ghoul. Oh my god, it's literally dead! They can have a max of 5 zombies. Oh, there's the boss. That's just a champion. And all those zombies just killed the champion boss. Oh my god. Oh, I think that's it. Alright, it's gonna basically instantly die, I think. Yeah, this has 1.5 million health. It's literally dead. It's already dead. That was the fastest thing. They can legit do any boss in a matter of seconds. So now that you guys saw that, as you can see, I think this is 100% the best sword in the game right now. You can literally just not even hit the boss and it goes for it. But I have to get all the other weapons over with because there are some other cool weapons that aren't swords. So first of all, the first weapon in the game is called the Recluse Fang. 120 damage, 30 strength, 20% crit damage, and you also get strength for zombies. So here's a maxed one here. You can get up to 370 strength against zombies. It's not as good as a 50mm Midas sword, but if you're just starting out, I'd say go for it. So just like how we have the Recluse Fang here, and you get more strength over time, there's actually another sword. If I go to here, it is the Scorpion Foil. 100 damage, 100 strength, and another 150% damage against spiders. This is kind of like the Reaper Falcon, basically better than the other one. It also has an interesting ability where when you right click, you heal for 60, and then you only have 4 tickers at a time, and then you get tickers every 5 seconds. But once you're out of tickers, your next attack is way stronger, 250% more. Now there is another thing in here. It is called the Scorpion Bow. It does 110 damage, it does 10 strength. Okay, so the item ability is interesting. I think when you sneak, it's just really OP. They actually nerfed it recently, so if you want to deal more damage, you have to fully charge back your bow. So when I hear that this thing and the mosquito bow has fully charged shots when sneaking, that seems good, because then you could just do a dragon fight and sneak the whole time. The damage is less on the Runin's bow, but you have 3 arrows, so it should about be the same. And because of the fully charged shots thing, I don't know if that's when you right click or it uses mana, but it seems pretty good. Now, to make this thing, you need 3 stacks of Tarantula Silk, you need 2 stacks of Enchanted Iron, and a Digested Mosquito. This thing is really rare. I know no one has the bow yet, and people already have the Scythe. It's probably because the Scythe is just better. I'll definitely be going for the mosquito bow though, but I have to get this first, so I might buy it or something. I don't know. But we have to go to the wolves now because there are some more things here. First of all, to start off, we have the shaman sword. This sword basically is only for master farm. Master farming gives you a ton of health based off the crit damage, and you deal more damage for max health, so only use this if you have master farmer, otherwise it's terrible. It's pretty easy to craft: 2 golden teeth, 8 enchanted iron, 4 enchanted bones. Now there's actually 2 items in this collection which are pretty strange. So at wolf level 5 you unlock a strange item called a weird tuba. If I right click here, here it is. When you right click, it costs 150 mana, it lasts for 20 seconds. And you and 4 nearby players, I assume it just picks random ones, get 30 strength and 30 speed. It lasts for 20 seconds. It's a pretty interesting item. I haven't really seen anyone use it, but it might be good for dragons as well. Also, in the zombie one, I know I'm kind of backtracking here, but there's another item called the Voodoo Doll. Basically, it's just a strange arrow thing, so you can go for it if you want. I don't think it's worthless. Those are like the 2 other weird items that they've added, the Voodoo Doll and the weird tuba. So I've gone back to the wolf here. There's another sword in the game called the Edible Mace. The item ability is Me Smash Head. Your next attack is double damage and weakens animals. The thing about these is that they use so much mana, and like, if this uses less mana, I feel like it'd be better. It's not really a good weapon, I guess. Maybe decent for starting off, but I don't recommend it. I wouldn't really use it, but I'm like an endgame player, I guess. Now, there are obviously talismans that they've added into the game, so I'm going to be covering those and how to get them right now. And after that, we're basically done. Wait, I have to tell you how to solo them. Okay, so first of all, I'll go from the worst to best. They added a Red Claw Talisman, which is from 8 wolf teeth and an enchanted bone. If you use that Red Claw Talisman, you can make a Red Claw Ring. 3% crit damage. I know, it's great. You need level 5 to use this, whereas it's just level 1 for the talisman. Now, there's another one in the game called the Red Claw Artifact. You need a Red Claw Egg, which I know you need to be at least level 7 to get it. You also need the Red Claw Ring, a bunch of enchanted leather, and a bunch of golden teeth. So, pretty expensive. I saw one for like 30 million on the auction house earlier today, so a few people have them, I know, but they're really rare. Keeping on going, we also have the Hunter Talisman, which is from 64 golden teeth. You can also get a Hunter Ring, and you need Grizzly Bait to get it. And Grizzly Bait is extremely hard to get, trust me. Grizzly Bait you also need level 7 to get, if I remember correctly, and it's a super rare drop. I haven't seen anyone find this at all or get it, Now, there's also another artifact in the game, a talisman. It is the spider artifact. You take the less damage from cave spiders and spiders. You need spider level 7, and you need a spider ring, as well as some silk and then enchanted emeralds. To make a spider ring, you just need a spider talisman, which I know you get from the spider boss at the very top of the spider's den. It spawns like every hour or something, and then you need a stack of tarantula web. That is how you get the spider ring. It's pretty good. I'd get it if I were you. Now, there's another talisman in the game called the Zombie Ring, which comes from the Zombie Talisman and a stack of Revenant Flesh. You can buy the Zombie Talisman at the NPC at spawn, the Adventurer NPC. By making this, you take 10% less damage from zombies, so pretty decent. You need Zombie level 2 to use it, but if I'm remembering correctly, there is a better variant of this. I just right-clicked with the Revenant Viscera, and here's the Devour Ring. This isn't from the same thing. As far as I know, this thing is pretty hard to get. I know you just have to craft it. There's not like a rare drop or anything involved. There's also a zombie artifact, which comes from the zombie ring, so I did remember correctly. And that is actually all the talismans. There is a lot of talismans in this game now. I'd say there's like 50 or 60 talismans in total. That is way too many. They gotta add a bigger talisman bag. There's only like 27 slots in here. Now, as far as I know, unless I missed something, that's actually everything they've added into the update. Now, obviously, I did promise this earlier in the video. I'm gonna tell you guys how to solo these tier 4 bosses. I've soloed a tier 4 spider. I know how to solo the other ones. It's basically the same process. Okay, so I want to go solo a tier 4 spider, so I'm going to go to Maddox the Slayer, Tarantula Broodfather, and start the quest. Okay, so I'm in the spider's den, and first of all, I'm in full tarantula armor. That's because I get defense against spiders. All you really gotta do is take a max Runin's bow, and then just do that. Look how easy it is. You just go around killing it. Yeah. So there's a few things you should know before you want to solo this boss. First of all, you're going to need a really OP set, but what you really want is a full tarantula set with a good amount of defense already accumulated against spiders. So as you can see, 135 defense on the boots, 135 there, 80, a lot of defense against spiders. Another thing is that the spiders give you healing reduction, so this chest plate makes you immune to healing reduction. Another thing you want to do is you want to get a few things like a power orb, a healing one, all of that. So first of all, I have a radiant power orb. You get the power orbs in the wolf collection, but right now I have the radiant power orb, and I get plus 1% of my max HP per second, which is really nice. I also have regen 7, strength 5, and I'm going to be making critical 3. Another thing is the wand of mending. I get 30 HP per second for 7 seconds. Alright, there it goes. It's coming over. And we just got to get all the way down here. Alright, not the best start. But basically, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep meleeing it over here, so I'm in a corner. You can see it's already at 1.9 million health. Yeah, we're doing pretty good. And we're just going to keep killing it. 1.5 mil. This is so easy. All I do is block it in a corner. And you can see I'm still critting for most of my hits. Oh, the power orb ran out. Okay, we don't really need it now because it's literally dead. That is one thing you want to keep track of. The power orb can run out. Oh, I just got Bane of Arthropod 6! Nice, that's the first ever one I've gotten. So that's basically how you solo it. Now, I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to use this Maddox Bat Foam, get it at Wolf level 3. I can basically ring Maddox, and then I click this, claim it, and then I click it again, and I have the full menu. So I need to get about 4.8 thousand worth of combat experience from the Revenants. Now, if you've ever grinded zombies, you probably know you just go through the caves, you kill these things, and that guy just died. Now, you want to do this until you get to about 132 kills or 1 under, and then you want to do a few things. First of all, make sure you have a few items. A power orb can help, but apparently Time Dio doesn't even use it. He also doesn't use potions, but I'm going to be going for the safe route here. You might be able to get away without some of these items, but it's not very likely. So I'm going to switch to full Superior, and Superior obviously works really well. Oh, here is the boss, and then it's going to spawn, and I'm just going to chill here. And this is all I'm going to do. I'm going to sit in a corner. So yeah, you want to ideally get yourself against a wall. That way you can't, like, be flung around. That's really the most ideal thing you can do. And this thing is really easy to solo. It's literally almost dead. Like, look at this. It's about to die already. Yep, there we go. That was easy. See, these things are actually incredibly easy to solo. You just need the proper equipment to go with it. Okay, so I've already shown you guys how to do the Revenant Horror and the Tarantula Broodfather, so I'm going to show you guys how to do the Sven Packmaster tier 4. So the first thing to do is to head over to the Adventurer, grab 4 string and a slime ball. Then what you do, you go like this, and you have yourself a lead. Now, in case you don't know what a lead is, it's very simple. You right-click the wolf, and then it follows you out. It's great. So this is actually useful because what we're going to do is as soon as we're about to spawn the boss, we're going to head over to that lake over there, because we have a lot of room. That means you're gonna have to have Boot with Depth Strider 3. It basically reduces how much you are slowed in water by 100%. The wolves are not affected by it, but you are, so which is good. It's obviously the same deal here. You have the wand. You've got maybe a zombie sword in case you need it. A power orb in case you need it. Alright, which one of you want to come with me? It can only be one. Alright, follow me, boy. Follow me. So you get in the middle of here. And then you kill it. And then you place down the orb, and then you just fight it. Yeah, this is basically how you fight the boss. It's already at 1.7 million. Ow! Ow, that's mean. So at about half health, it's gonna basically spawn a bunch of mini dogs. And that's not what we want to do. It also has to hit me, so yeah, see how when it didn't hit me, it went back to full HP? That's why it's gotta hit you. It's something I didn't want to happen, but it's a good example. Alright, it's about to spawn its, like, mini versions of itself. Yep, it's calling the pups. These pups are so terrible. They have only 200k health. See, all I do is I avoid the pups and I go for the main boy. The main dog. 192, 150k, and dead. GG. And I just leveled up in combat. So yeah, it's really easy to kill, honestly. That's basically how you solo a tier 4 wolf. Now, the reason I'm using potions is because I don't have a Mana Flux Power Orb. If I had a Mana Flux Power Orb, I wouldn't need half those potions, so really, I've basically covered everything in this video. The bosses are pretty easy to solo as long as you have the right gear. Now, currently, I have full Superior. Honestly, I would say that's a good place to end the video. If this video helped you in any way, shape, or form, please do consider leaving a like and subscribing. I would really appreciate it. My main plan for the next month is just to get all the good items like the Overflux Power Orb, the Reaper Scythe, the Mosquito Bow, all those things. Those are basically the 3 best items in the game right now, from all the different sets. If this video helped you at all, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. I want to hit 100k by the end of the year, so please subscribe. It'd mean a lot. We gotta pass Tommy in subs. Alright, he passed me. I almost passed him. The gap is increasing. We cannot let it happen. Anyways, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!